Hello guys, welcome to ethical hacking training. So today I'm going to discuss about the various aspects of ethical hacking. So in real-time industry as well as the educational industry. So before we quickly begin, let's get into the agenda, what we are going to discuss. So in the agenda, you can see like we are going to discuss about what is ethical hacking and who is a hacker. So what exactly is his responsibilities in terms of industry that we are going to discuss. Thereafter, who is a cybersecurity expert, what they are do, and thereafter we go through the brief intro of ethical hacking. So inside ethical hacking, what are the various kind of phases a hacker faces, and how those phases are helpful for us to do a penetration testing inside a network, and what are the prerequisites to learn ethical hacking, thereafter the scope of cybersecurity career and the remuneration and job titles. So let's begin with ethical hacking. So if you talk about any company, like why there is a requirement of ethical hacker, or why there is requirement of ethical hacking. So guys, recently you might have seen the various kind of attacks which were happening in the world. Like the best example is WannaCry. So where it has impacted on various systems and completely they had completely binded, means completely took the data, and they were completely seized the data. So unless they pay some ransom, they were not able to release. So not only ransomware, you might have seen the recent attacks on GitHub. The data has been stolen, and so many credit card informations are getting stolen. So many security numbers, like social security numbers, like SINs from US, are being stolen, and the bank's databases are getting leaked. Like this, if you come across with many situations are there for every day inside the industry. So when you talk about this industry standards, definitely the industry should hire a hacker so that they can protect their organization in terms of any kind of attacks happening in future. So that's the reason, to beat a hacker, you need to think like a one. So that's the first motto of a ethical hacker, where if a ethical hacker could think like just like a hacker, so that he can defend any kind of counter attacks, whatever happen in future or anywhere. So that's the reason the companies will hire a ethical hacker, so that he can completely scan what are the troubles and what are the vulnerabilities which are inside the organization, and based on the vulnerabilities whatever he can able to find out the solutions where he can completely mitigate the risk without being happen. So that is the advantage of being a ethical hacker and being a security expert in an organization. So if you come across to the next step, who are cybersecurity experts and who are they? So guys, there will be many queries in most of you might facing, like who is a hacker, who is cybersecurity experts, what is the difference? So guys, one thing I just want to tell you here: cybersecurity is a name which is a related field of information security. So it's not like ethical hacking is not different, cybersecurity is not different. They all under the same family tree called information security. In information security, depends upon the company requirement, the role and the name of the person, whoever the security expert is there, that name will be differed. So cybersecurity expert, ethical hacker, penetration tester, these are the different kind of roles. So in short, you can say like people will call it as cybersecurity. So cybersecurity expert, if you see, who are these guys? So these people are mainly the most prominent, they will be fulfilling the most prominent role in the organization. Like without them, the organization cannot able to work very easily, because obviously if you take any domain, like it may be a programming domain, it may be a development domain, any domain, every domain need a network to function very properly. So the network will give you the complete functionality, which will help you to understand, like which will help you to communicate from one location to another location or anywhere. So without any cybersecurity expert, there is obviously no chance like the network will be very secure. So that's the reason you need in every part of the organization there should be a requirement of security expert. Then only the organization can able to do the work very easily without any hassle free. So the person who is working for some organizational standards and working as a security expert is referred as white hat security analyst, like white hat experts. Okay, so let's get into the brief introduction of ethical hacking. Once after completing of this brief introduction, I'm going to fulfill all the FAQs, whatever you have. So let's begin with brief intro of ethical hacking. In this brief intro, I'm going to talk about the major 5 phases which are covered by hackers. So in every part of hackers life, definitely they are not going to do the attacks in a one single step. Obviously they are going to follow the step by step procedures to target any organization. See that the organization may be a say any based organization, it's not like only one thing. So they will be having step by steps. See guys, like whenever you want to construct a new house, obviously you need to have a proper plan along with the basement, along with a proper infrastructure, everything, right? So similarly, if you want to hack any organization, if you are want to protect any organization, you need to undergo these phases. The hackers also undergoes these phases, and the penetration testers will undergo these phases. It is very important 5 phases in hackers life. So let's get into the first phase, which we call it as footprinting. Footprinting is nothing but the hacker will try to gather as much as information about the target. Means the target may be an organization, the target may be a system, the target may be a network, the target may be a person. So irrespective of what is the target, trying to gather as much as information about the target. Next, depends on the information whatever we got, we try to explore more about the target. So here guys, footprinting will be of two types. So actually let me explain you in brief. See, footprinting will be considered as active footprinting and passive footprinting. Active footprinting is nothing but attacker will involve himself or herself. Okay, attacker will involve himself or herself in the attack. He will try to get to the, or means whatever, if you take like Microsoft, or else any other company or any of the target, I'm just taking this as an example. If you take it as an example, getting yourself involved and trying to gather the information actively, so your physical presence will be there at the target location. This type of scanning, I mean this kind type of gathering the information is referred as active gathering information. Passive information gathering, passive information gathering is referred as gathering the information from internet. So gathering info from internet. So internet in the sense, as you can see, like what I can do, I can take the help of Google, and I can take the, so just imagine that I want to target Microsoft. Okay, so if I want to target Microsoft, you can observe here. So first source I can find is a Wikipedia page of Microsoft, where I can able to find some sensitive information. Like, I mean, not sensitive, a lot of information about Microsoft. I don't need to go to some third party place to gather the information. But this information is not sufficient. Hackers will try to explore more. So just for an example, I'm using a website called netcraft.com, where I'll try to access this Microsoft. See, I'm going to open the Microsoft website. I'm going to access this Microsoft website. Hold on a sec. Yeah, so here we go. You can see here Microsoft.com. I'm copying the domain name. You can see here, I'm copying the domain name and pasting it here, Microsoft.com. Once I click on enter, you can see the results. See, here all of you know that Microsoft.com is only one single website, but in the back end, if you observe, the result will differ. There are many hidden websites with the name Microsoft. Even so, you can have pages also. So we can easily identify what are the hidden websites of Microsoft, As well as if you observe, you can even see what type of operating system is used by Microsoft. Means for the particular website, what type of operating system. You can see www.microsoft.com is using Linux operating system, and support.microsoft also using Linux operating system. So tech.microsoft is using Windows Server. You can see here it is using Windows Server. Like this, you can identify the operating systems. Guys, these are all the major, like first steps which are taken by the hackers, like gathering the information not only about the operating system. We try to gather about a lot. Like you can say I am opening including www dot, and let's see what would be the result. You can see here, this is the website name, this is the description, and you can see the website title, the IP address of the company, the organizational information like the address, the DNS information, the name server information, the hosting related information, along with the operating system. So guys, this is only for example purpose. I'm showing you the various ways how hacker can able to get the organizational information. So this is referred as footprinting. Once the organizational information is gathered, the next phase is scanning networks. Guys, in this scanning networks, attacker will use his all network skills in the sense the TCP IP, like because the network skill is a mandatory thing here. He need to have a good understanding about each and every network and each and every host, like what are the IPs used here, so what kind of IP, what kind of host is there, what kind of operating system. He will try to identify all this network information. So I'm taking the help of my VMware to show you how it happens. So see, observe here guys, I have one operating system called Metasploitable. This is one vulnerable operating system, and I am trying to note down the IP of this ifconfig. Okay, so if you observe here, this is the IP of this website. So one second, this is the IP of this link 192.168.2.128. Now let's see, I'm going here to my attacker's machine, and let me try to scan the complete information about that. So I'm going to enter 192.168.2.128. 2.128 if I'm correct, 2.128, yes, exactly. You can see here, here are the various scanning techniques. Here are the various scanning techniques. So I want to identify the open ports information about this target. You can see here, I can specify 1 to 5000. I want to scan the ports. So as you can see, what is our major target here? Inside the scanning networks, our major target is to check for live hosts, to check for the IP addresses, and to check for open ports. So guys, ultimately what the attacker is doing is, if he can able to identify what kind of live hosts are there, what kind of IP addresses and open ports are there, he can able to easily get himself into the network. That is the ultimate target. So I'm opening my tool called Nmap, and I'm going to scan it. You can see here, once I click on scan, it is going to scan the complete information. Once again, I think I gave the command wrong. Nmap -p 1 to 5000 ports 192.168.2.128. Okay, scan. So guys, if you observe, this is going to scan all the 5000 ports and giving us the output. You can see here the specific operating system, that 128 has these many open ports. So like this, using some special tools like Nmap, we can able to scan for the open ports. And not only that, we have one more method called identifying vulnerabilities. Identifying vulnerabilities in the sense, we have tools like Nessus, which will help us to identify the vulnerabilities. So let me show you. So here is the Nessus tool. Nessus is considered as the vulnerability and assessment tool, which will help you to scan the particular target, and it will show you the result. You can see here, I already scanned one of the target, the same target which we were discussing. You can see here, this is the vulnerability which I can see in this machine. It is clearly showing that there is a Debian SSH vulnerability here, and you can see the description. So hackers will try to gather all this kind of information in scanning networks, and they will try to exploit it. Means utilizing the vulnerabilities. Vulnerability is nothing but weakness. Utilizing the weakness and targeting the organization. This is one technique. This is the second phase. After that, we have three, four, five phases here, like I told you. Third phase is gaining access. Fourth phase is maintaining access. Fifth phase is clearing tracks. So gaining access, maintaining access, clearing tracks. Now, what exactly he gonna do? What exactly the hacker gonna do here? So gaining access in the sense, whatever the operating system, it may be Windows, Linux, Mac, or whatever. First of all, he will try to bypass the system controls and using password cracking techniques or social engineering techniques. Social engineering is nothing but hacking humans, interacting with human beings and gathering the information is referred as social engineering. So gaining the access, escalating privileges. If there are any kind of passwords protected, if there are any kind of privilege, administrative privileges are there, so bypassing them. This technique is referred as escalating privileges. Executing applications. Executing applications is a part where maintaining access will come. Means attacker will install trojans, spywares or backdoors. You can call it as virus. These are come under malware family, where attacker will install a spyware or a trojan and completely monitor the activity of the user. So thereafter, hiding files. So obviously, whenever he installs some trojans and this one, the antivirus is going to detect it. So without detecting, like to get rid of that antivirus, so what attacker will do is attacker will use the techniques like rootkits and steganography to hide the complete data in the backend so that it cannot get detected. Hiding files, covering tracks. Obviously, when he do some mistake, definitely he need to get it covered, because otherwise if he cannot covering it, then obviously this covering tracks, you can see here that then obviously he will get caught. So clearing logs is a last phase where attacker will completely come and he will completely remove whatever he did from the logs and he will be in a safe side. So these are the various 5 phases which will come across in hacking. So as well as when you are being a pen tester or being a hacker, everywhere you can follow these type of 5 phases in this. So guys, to make yourself expertise in this training, there are some prerequisites which you have to fulfill. So the major prerequisite is networking. So most of the people who are browsing the internet, they might be seeing like you need programming knowledge, you need networking knowledge. They might be mentioning very things. I just want to make it very simple. What exactly are the prerequisites for being a ethical hacker? So guys, it is for one single person, it is obviously very hard to completely concentrate on multiple topics. I could suggest, so from my end, networking is the major backbone of cybersecurity. So if you make yourself expertise on networking, so you no need to worry about the remaining. Of course, remaining parts are very important, but if you make yourself expertise on networking, then that is very essential for you, and definitely you can proceed with the cybersecurity. So once you learn networking, so thereafter you must have the knowledge on Windows and Linux. Guys, obviously I know like most of the people are not aware of Linux and Linux commands, but once we start with the training, you can make it very easy. Like I will be giving you some tips how you can make yourself expertise in Linux by using small tricks and techniques. Thereafter, database like SQL is one of the important, because I'm not talking only about SQL, but any database like SQL, MySQL, Oracle DB. So any database is fine, one database. Programming languages like Python, why I'm mentioning Python is because guys, it's not mandatory, but it's, see, if you are very good at programming from the beginning in the sense like from your graduation or from your degree level, if you are good at programming, then think about it. But if you don't know about programming, you no need to worry. Okay, so there is a script called, there is a latest programming called Python, which is very easy to learn. I could suggest you from my end, if you learn Python, then definitely it will be a good asset for you in career. Thereafter, you should be have ability to learn and adapt new technologies. Guys, obviously this is a competitive world. If you might have observed, like earlier, what happens? Like there is no blockchain, there is no machine learning, there is no artificial intelligence, there is nothing. So earlier, most of the people were saying like Java and .NET and many things. After that, people started like about talking about cloud computing, big data, Hadoop, and all these things. Later, they started about networking, network security, all this. So every year, if you see the progress, the technology is rapidly getting changed. Previously, just if you take 6 months or 1 year back, the machine learning and artificial intelligence has got a very big revolution inside the industry. So blockchain, artificial intelligence, all these things. So, but definitely all you have to remember one thing, guys, without security, no domain can able to work peacefully. So in any area, if you talk about Java, if you talk about .NET, any area, they need a cybersecurity expert. They need an industrial expert who can completely take care of the organization. So you need to have a knowledge on security areas. I'm not talking about technically, but you need to be a good information gatherer, or you need to make yourself concentrate on gathering information of security areas, all these things. So these are the major prerequisites which I could suggest you for this training. Coming up to scope of cybersecurity career, guys, this is only a assumption statistics I had given you. So approximately you can see, guys, especially in US, they have an estimation of 3.8 billion USD for cybersecurity. So for especially for cybersecurity, the estimation is this. So according to NASCOM, India has a requirement of 90,000, okay, cybersecurity experts, but the industry is only able to produce 15,000 experts per year. You can just observe the difference. What is the percentage, least percentage and the maximum percentage? Definitely the industry is open for all the people who can show their passion towards cybersecurity and make themselves as an expert. Okay, so you can see here, coming up to the remuneration, guys, even this remuneration will depends on person to person and organization to organization. This is only for is assumption for statistics purpose. You can see a basic level package of 4.5 is very common nowadays, and you can get it very easily. And if you are one of the expert with any sort of experience, like any good certifications and things, you can expect around this package. And if you are holding some 5 years, definitely you can get into this package. Guys, again I am telling you, this is only the like I cannot say out of 10 people they are not going, 10 out of 10 people are not going to get this, but 10 out of 2 to 3 people are definitely can reach this. But definitely if you come into cybersecurity industry, then definitely you can fulfill this package like 4.5 lakhs. And you can see the various roles which are assigned in cybersecurity, like IT network security administrator, network security engineer, VAPT analyst means vulnerability assessment and penetration testing analyst, network defense analyst, application security testers, web security administrators, web pen testers, forensic analysts, security auditors, penetration testers. Guys, I had just mentioned the most important, like most prominent roles, but the role is not fixed inside the industry. So it will differ from industry to industry. Few people will be called as analysts, that's it. Few people will call as security consultants, that's it. So it varies from one area to another area. So like this, the industry has vast opportunities for the people who can show interest in this field. So I hope, like you can see, I hope we had successfully full-fledged the agenda. And still, if you have any further FAQs, please feel free to contact us on goliveclasses.com. So we will be here to help you 24 by 7 for any kind of FAQs you get. Okay, hope you enjoyed the session, guys. Thank you very much. So if you have interest, you can enroll and we can meet you in the class. Thank you. Bye bye. Jai Hind.